Julieta, and today's episode is all about my tummy talk. I'm so excited, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm ready to talk about this because it doesn't matter what everybody says, what anybody says, but this has been the best decision for my life. I don't regret it in this tiny bit. I don't. There's up and downs, there's good things and bad things about it, but I think the overall experience has been amazing and life-changing for me. So, let's start. So I had my surgery 11 weeks ago. I woke up at 5 a.m. I got ready, I had to take a shower, and they gave me this this liquid, like disinfectant or something, to wash my body in. I got ready, I put my sweatpants on, I kissed my kids goodbye, they were still sleeping, and I left. There's all kinds of emotions going through your head at that time. You're like, is this... You wonder if it is the right thing. You wonder, you pray, and then you beg to God that nothing bad is gonna happen to you. Because when you're a mom, you worry that something happens to you. You have your kids and they depend on you, and yeah, of course that rushes through your mind. But so, as I always write on Instagram, like whenever I'm scared and I feel deep inside me that it's a good thing, I just close my eyes and do it. So I closed my eyes, I got ready, I put on my comfy sweatpants, and I left with my sister. I had to be there at 6 a.m. and it was scary. I got there, had to take all my clothes off. The surgeon starts like drawing and making all the lines so he can, like, all the guidelines so he can follow when he's operating. We joke a little, and I tell him, Doctor, do you see these stretch marks? I still have my stretch marks here. I don't know if you can see. Yes, they were up here. So I told him, do you see this? I don't really mind them. I actually like them. So if you don't see the need to take them, to just cut them out, just please leave them there. They are the remains of the bellies that carry my babies, and I love them. And he looked at me like funny. He was like, yeah, don't worry. Funny thing, of course, is that he already knew that I was gonna have stretch marks left. And for some reason I thought I wouldn't, but I still wanted them. But I'm happy that I still have them, and it's amazing. So I lay down and somebody told me to think in beautiful things. So I started thinking all the beautiful things in my kids and why I was grateful for them. So that way I would fall asleep like in peace and not like panicking. And I think that had a good effect on my body, the way I fell asleep with the anesthesia. So surgery took 6 hours. Don't get scared. The tummy talk was less than that, but since I was doing my boobs too, so they both combined took 6 hours. All I'm gonna say about my boob job is that it's totally okay. Of course, you know, this was mostly medical. This was not, and I'm not ashamed of it. It's something that I had wanted to do for a long time, and after breastfeeding for 5 years, I deserved having my B cup back. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. All I know is that my doctor said that he had to do a lot of work. My sister told me that when he finished and he went out to tell her, he was like, oh my God, this skinny little woman gave me so much work. And then I asked him, and he was like, oh my God, your muscles were like... All of that for me meant that it was just what I needed. When I woke up, of course you wake up and your first instinct is like to just move a little, but I couldn't because everything was hurting. and I had so much pain here and here, mostly here, and I panicked a little bit because I couldn't breathe, and it was short. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't catch my breath. I was like so sleepy, but at the same time I was like, am I okay? Am I okay? Everything went fine. Oh my God, I'm alive. I'm alive, I'm alive. Thank you, God, I'm alive. The nurses immediately put me into the compression garment, so I didn't even take a look at them. I remember just kind of touching. I was like, okay, and that was it. I looked here, I was like, oh, okay, I'm a little bit, I think it's fine. One thing really important for me at that moment was that the nurse came with the little thing to help you breathe, that you have to like kind of like breathe in like really deep, and that thing basically forces you to breathe into your diaphragm, and that's what you need, because I wasn't getting enough oxygen, and with the pain here I was afraid of breathing. Breathe, you're not sleepy. You're as sleepy is because you're not getting enough oxygen. So I took on that task very seriously, and that's what I did for the next, I don't know, maybe 5 days, until I felt that I could breathe better on my own. Now we moved to the next day. She's not a nurse, but she's a person that knows about the surgery. She also helps you like getting undressed and dressed and cleans you and all of that. So when she came and she finally took all of the compression garment off, I was able to see my body, and I looked at the mirror and I was like, what did I do? What did I do? I was shocked because my waist was this small, and I had the stitches here, and it was more swollen here, so my waist looked like this tiny, and I just looked at myself and I said, I look abnormal. That's a tiny waist. I didn't want a tiny waist. I just didn't want a tiny waist. Why? And I keep complaining about my waist. That was so tiny. And then I saw the scar and I was like, I had a full tummy tuck. If you've seen my story, if you've seen my pictures on the past video about diastasis recti, you know how bad my belly was, how bad my diastasis was. And I needed a full tummy tuck. So they basically just cut me open, ripped me out. They repaired my fascia, which is the tissue that holds the abs together, which mine was very thin, stretched out, even torn. And that's why I had my hernia and all those things. So I had my stretch marks way above the navel, so this was what was around my belly button, and they had to cut and just make this little pleat here. But yeah, I saw that and I wasn't expecting that, so I was like, okay. All the stitches from here to hip, and I mean, this is basically the skin that was around my belly button, and they just couldn't pull more because and it was either having the scar up here or having this little thing down, like in the lower belly. And I think it was the right decision to do it right here. From the day of my surgery till today, it's gotten like so much better, and it's not.
Today is day number 4. I'm taking a walk around my parents' apartment. But I had a rough night.
I wasn't expecting all the pain and not being able to do so many things, that I'm really glad that I had the help. Yeah, I would say like the first week you need, oh my God, so much help, like help in everything. Second week you still like need like maybe an 80% of help, and then you can start doing more things and more things as time goes on. But it also depends on your on the situation of every person. And for me, with my situation, with all the reparation they did, it was just too painful, and the recovery is obviously a little bit slower and more painful than it would be with someone with small diastasis and a little bit of skin. Now, you want to see all the results? Because I know I showed you the little thing here, but now let's see all of it. So this is my belly button. I think it looks pretty. It's still very swollen here. If we go down, we're gonna find this. So there's all the scar that goes from hip bone, like a little bit past the hip bone to the other side. I have my remaining stretch marks all here. This is actually all very thin skin that was up here. So if I bend and do all of this, I'm still gonna have like a little bit of wrinkles and not saggy but wrinkly skin. Yes. And if we move on to this card, all of this has gotten so much better. It's soft and it's like very thin now, but here it took longer because of the drains. So I had drains for 10 days. Yeah, for 10 days I had drains. It's horrible. The drains are so annoying, but it's something necessary that you just have to get over and wait, because it's not gonna last forever. So it was only 10 days and I finally had them off. Again, it depends on every patient, but on me it was only 10 days. Physically, I feel amazing. I feel amazing, and not because I don't have my saggy skin. You might be surprised, but the most amazing thing that's come from this is I don't have back pain. My back pain is gone, like a 98%. I still want to go and check with a chiropractor, because I do have a little bit something on my tailbone, and I'm afraid that, I don't know, I think there's something that needs to be taken care of over there. But other than that, my pain is gone. My pain is gone. Like by the end of, before my surgery, I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't, like any position. It didn't matter the position. I would have pain here, like constant chronic pain, and I just didn't know what to do anymore. I actually didn't have like that much hope with the surgery, but with just one day, I couldn't believe that I didn't have the pain that I was having. Other thing that I've also mentioned several times is that the incontinence. So the incontinence I had a lot to do with my diastasis recti. I know that every mom kind of pees her pants a little bit when there's sneeze or cough or all of that, but in my case it was a lot. Like in my case it was a lot that if I didn't have a mini pad, if I wasn't wearing a mini pad, I would have to change my pants because I would literally wet my pants, and that was one embarrassing. It was so sad, it was so annoying, and I was tired of that. Something I've never mentioned was that plastic surgery was something that I really never considered, and even after seeing my belly, I remember telling my husband, I would rather have this skin my whole life than that horrible scar from hip to hip. That's horrible. All I can say right now that I'm on the other side about plastic surgery is that something can be good and can be bad depending on your reasons. So if your reason is to, I just want to change my body because I hate it, probably is not the best option. If your reason is, I love my body, I just want to do this for myself, or I actually want to have a functional body again, you don't see anything wrong with it. I say this because I've had so many moms telling me either two things. One, that they've had surgery, but they don't tell anybody because they feel they're gonna be judged. And there's those that still go for it and still feel bad. And there's others that don't do it because they're afraid of what others are gonna think. You don't need to tell everybody about your surgery, and you have your privacy and you know what you want to share and you or not. It's your personal life. I think the more we share about this, the more moms will feel less alone, and the more judgment is gonna be. There's always gonna be judgment because haters are gonna hate. All I can say is that plastic surgery, when it comes from a good place, it's a beautiful thing you can do for your body, for your confidence, and for your mental health too. This was it. This is my belly. I know you were crazy to see it. This is it. Some might like it, some might not. Last time someone saw it, it was like, oh my god, that scar. Nobody gets to tell you how you should feel about your body. I'm still getting used to it, but I don't think it's bad, and I'm not looking at it with disgust, because this means that I was brave enough to do something for myself that my body needed. I hope this either scares you away from a tummy tuck or inspires you to get yours. It's time for us moms to understand and accept each other with our decisions. If you want to get a tummy tuck, do it. If you don't, amazing. Those stretch marks are beautiful. Just make sure that you're taking care of your internal, because if you're okay with the stretch marks inside your skin, amazing. But just don't settle for something less in your body internally. Find a physical therapist, find a pelvic floor specialist, and do the best you can to have a functional body. Because one thing is to love our bodies, our postpartum bodies, and one thing is to accept that we are not gonna have a functional body for the rest of our lives. And that's two different things. Sorry about that. I got a little bit overboard. But next time, I've taken note of all your questions. I know here was very short and I didn't speak about all the details about surgery, recovery, preparation. So I'm gonna have a Q&A with all the questions that you have asked. If you have one in special that you don't want me to forget, reply to my email and let me know. Other than that, I have a list and I'm gonna go through them all next time. Bye. Thank you. I love you.